most ambitious, impactful, and potentially financially game-changing product, this insane video.
And it's amazing to think what this car company can do. Watch this demo. Absolutely melts my head.
Elon Musk says that the robot is a priority for Tesla and has the potential to be more significant than their vehicles in the long run. Just how significant and what does it mean for Tesla's stock? Well, one FinTwit analyst thinks that once Tesla reaches large-scale production of the bot, you could rent or lease an Optimus for as little as $40 per day. He then calculated the value of each bot for Tesla shareholders, saying that each bot could be worth $176,000. So a fleet of 10 million bots potentially adds $1.7 trillion to the value of Tesla's stock.
Absolutely melts my head.
Fleet of 10 million bots potentially adds $1.7 trillion to the value of Tesla's stock.
But why stop at 10 million? What if Tesla built 20 million bots? What if they built 30 million bots? What if they built 100 million bots? Think of the potential money that would be in Tesla stock. You are going to be so rich. It's hard to say with a straight face. And essentially, this is what the pumpers do every single day. And I understand, right? If you're a kid, you're watching YouTube, social media, and you're watching all this pumping stuff, my channel comes across really boring because I talk about reality. But I do want to tell you guys the truth. And the truth is, this is also very real. Part of social media, part of this game is understanding who the audience is. It's filled with stupid people, children, and stupid children. And this is just a reality of it. And sadly, that's probably the majority of the people out there. I know I'm being really mean, but when I see this stuff, I'm just like, who believes this stuff? But yet lots of people watch these kinds of things. And I hope you realize that they're just pulling numbers out of their butt. There's no other way to put it. And, I get it. The robot is cool. You like robots and all that kind of stuff. So I want to go over this thing, share my thoughts on this stuff, and get yours as well. And if you like being part of a community that has a little bit of brains in their head, because our minds didn't just melt like that one guy, we still have a way to think and logically and realistically about this stuff. So first, you probably saw the video already. Elon Musk and Tesla announced that they're at Gen 2 of their Optimus robot. And the funny thing about this, and I don't think it's a coincidence at all, the day that they released the Tesla robot video was the same day, the exact same day that they recalled 2 million cars because their autopilot is essentially under investigations, got some problems. And it's kind of funny when you watch the pumper videos and just if you see what's going on here, what if, for example, suddenly they all switch and say, you know what? FSD, autopilot's not that important. Cars, not that important. Let's talk about the future in robots. It's kind of like if Elon Musk says, Tesla's just not that important anymore. It's really Twitter, guys. Twitter is what's important. And then, after Twitter fails, well, guys, it's really not Twitter. Starlink is what matters. And if you guys see there, I'm sure you guys know, I'm showing you headlines as we walk through this, but, Twitter, the situation is very real that Elon Musk made a bunch of promises to people. Actually, I'll show the headlines again, that they wouldn't lose money on the Twitter deal. And we're talking about several banks. We're talking about $13 billion. So real money. And essentially what happens is like, okay, why are we talking about this? And the pumpers is that when there's so much money on the line, the banks have no choice but to continue to pump Elon just to get their money back. And it kind of feels like that this is a whole charade because everyone's in it to get your money, right? And I hope we can understand and look through the smoke and mirrors. Moreover, recently, Starlink, they lost out. You can see here. So Starlink loses out on $886 million in rural broadband subsidies. The basic gist of it is, you can see right here, FCC's final decision says Starlink hasn't proven it can, quote, deliver the promised service of rural broadband. And this has been a long-running theme with Elon Musk. He's very good at it. He overpromises and underdelivers. He's very good at doing that and very good at hyping up and very good at building up the relationships and showing his, cool robot videos and cool Starlink videos, etc. But at the end of the day, you actually do need a product that works. Now, I completely understand. When someone sells you hopes and dreams, it sounds really cool. I get it. I totally get it. And if you want to talk that way, I mean, we might as well just talk about Mars base. Just think about how much money Tesla stock is going to be worth when Elon Musk builds a base on Mars. Well, I mean, why stop talking about a base? What if he builds a city? Okay, not city. What if he builds a country on Mars? And I just hope you guys understand what we're talking about here. It's like, yes, it would be great if you could build, all this stuff on Mars. It would be fantastic. It'd be really cool. But like, is that in the realm of possibility? Is that even something that we should be talking about in terms of how much money that would be worth? Like we're just pulling numbers out of our butt at this point, right? And
Fleet of 10 million bots potentially adds $1.7 trillion to the value of Tesla's stock.
Absolutely melts my head.
It's so hard to talk rationally about this stuff because I understand, and it's funny, as I talk right now, I got that sort of trap music in my head, and I'm thinking like that's essentially how kids think. It's like, if you're not playing the cool music and you're like, yo, Tesla is bonkers, you're going to be making trillions. Like, if you're not talking like that, people don't understand, right? You have to speak in simple languages, small sentences, and constantly, zoom in and out and flash money and stuff like that, and people will watch. But it is so sad what is happening to our generations. And I think this robot thing is something I've been thinking about for a while now. It's even more sad if people really dig deeper into what's really going on. Okay. So first is, and I'm going to talk really serious about this stuff, is, okay, they're trying to build some sort of humanoid robot, etc. One of the main issues with this, and there's a couple things going on here, is that why would you build a human, noid or human-shaped robot? It's really, really inefficient. I'll just give you a simple example. So let's say you want to build some sort of, device to deliver packages. You're better off building like essentially a helicopter thing, a drone that can just fly a box, drop it at your house, and fly back, right? You guys know what a drone looks like. Or let's say you need a robot to find bombs. That's something that we do with robots. You basically put like a car / wheels, and you give it like a long arm / crane. You wouldn't really use a humanoid type of thing. It's just not that efficient. And the issue is that why would you build robots to be like humans in order to replace humans? Okay. So the implications of this, and I don't think people have thought too deeply about it. They're just all hyped about how much money they're going to make on Tesla stock. But the implications of this are actually really profound and important to talk about. Now, in my generation, I'm pushing 50, so I'm older than a lot of the viewers, who are kids. We had a very different perspective because we grew up with movies like Terminator. If you guys know this movie, and I don't know if kids watch this stuff, I don't know. It might be too old for them, but it's basically the robots are going to take over Skynet and Arnold Schwarzenegger, et cetera, right? That's essentially what the concept's about. Or even if you watch The Matrix, which again, kids may be too young to know this movie, it's essentially, again, robots take over the world. So there's always been this sort of fear and angst and sort of discussion about this. And this is something that, if you guys may not know, I'm really into, teaching these kind of things, literature, film, history, all this stuff, because these kind of philosophical questions are the questions that you address in these things. Even Elon Musk himself is a big fan of science fiction, which I think is great because, again, you want to be talking about the moral and sort of philosophical implications. There's a great quote from the movie Jurassic Park, and it was also a book, but I don't know if this particular quote's in the book, but anyway, this is the quote, and it was the character was Ian Malcolm, and the quote is, "Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could that they didn't stop to think if they should." Right? Do you guys understand the meaning of this? Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could that they didn't stop to think if they should. And we all know how Jurassic Park turned out, and it's like every movie is exactly the same. Someone thinks they can build a dinosaur theme park, the dinosaurs get out, and they start killing all the humans. That's essentially what it is. And the robot thing, who knows? Is the robot's going to take over the world? Is it going to be the monkeys? Is it going to be the aliens? Who knows? But the thing is that do we really want to replace humans? And I want to tell you guys a personal story that I don't think I've ever told on the channel, but this is very real. I can't believe I'm telling this. Okay, so I talking about this stuff like a ton, but it's something that happened. I dated a lot of girls when I was young, a lot of girls. And there was one I want to talk about that the best way to put it is that she had devices that would, how can I say, augment the sexual experience or could replace a person, right? And for me, whenever she wanted to use said devices, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, it was really distracting because they make noises. They go like, bzzz, you know. I can't, I'm sharing this. And let's just say I was unable to perform when the other devices are around. It just made me feel really, really strange and uncomfortable. So, you know, for those of you who can perform with said devices, more power to you. I'm not one of those kind of people. So, you know, and I'm not saying good or bad, but I'm just saying these devices exist, as you guys know. And I don't know YouTube's policy on stuff, so I'm not showing you pictures, but you can figure it out. The thing is, why I mention this is that I don't necessarily want to replace humans all of the time. You know, and I'm proud to say that, and I'm proud the right word, but in this household we don't have any of those kind of devices. My wife is perfectly happy with me. So, and it's actually kind of an interesting question to ask. Just honest question is like, if someone's using, say, electric devices, does that mean they're, you know, unhappy with human contact? And I was thinking about this. Moreover, I did a video a couple of days ago regarding this is young men who were getting scammed on Instagram and Twitter, these kind of stuff, because basically they get contacted by someone they think is someone that they know. So hot chick, basically a hot girl. And they're like, oh, hot girl wants to contact me, and she's in my, you know, network. But what it is, essentially, it's a bot or, you know, scammer has you know, used a bunch of pictures from someone in your network and pretends to be them, and then gets you to send them naked photos, and then they blackmail you. That's something that actually really happens, and people hurt themselves over this stuff. The point is, I want to go back to all this and put it all together. Is that like this push to replace humans? Is that what you want, right? I'm asking you a serious question, philosophical question, and you know, think of it this way: if you watch Blade Runner, these kind of things, more human than human. You know, this is something that we all know is okay. We're making human robots. Is it really just to sort of feed into our what to say, our bedroom fantasies is the proper way to say it. is that where Elon Musk is trying to go for here? And you know, it's interesting too, is like, let's say that the robots, let's say for example, have practical purposes. Let's say you want them to drive cars and these kind of things. We still might be a long ways away from that. Recently, GM Cruise, they fired like 900 employees. That's about 24% of their staff, because essentially what happened was someone got hit by a car. The human driver drove away, and then I guess the robot driver came, hit the person again, the pedestrian, and then dragged the person on the ground, which is kind of crazy. And so then they essentially paused the whole autopilot stuff, and you know, now they're going back to square one. You know, the issue is that it's multiple issues here. One is, should we do this? Another issue is, can Elon Musk even do this? Is this even something that's possible? The pumpers will tell you, yes, the robots are right around the corner. We're building 10 million of these things. But I question that, because given Elon Musk's track record, guys, I remember Hyperloop. and people who are too young, you're not even know what I'm talking about at all, right? Like that was a promise that Elon Musk said, hey, we're going to build a bunch of tunnels, and they're going to like be this cool mass transit. And it's going to be like magnets, and they're going to go really, really fast. Where is it? You know, moreover, you know, what about the what do you want to call it? The Roadster, where is that, right? Cybertruck comes out, and it doesn't look to be as good as he originally had told you. Moreover, it's more expensive than he originally told you. And this is kind of the same thing that he does all the time, is overpromise, underdeliver. And it's kind of funny, like, for example, you know, it was cool. I'm just telling you, it was cool when I remember he used to talk about going to Mars and stuff like that. I thought that was fantastic and cool. And then suddenly he just switches over to Twitter, which I think is just bizarre. And then all of his followers just like start talking about Twitter instead of going to Mars. Like, and the funniest thing is like, when you see the pumpers and you essentially see these people who are, there's no way to put it, sheep, it just makes you feel sad for the world, because they really believe by giving someone all of their money that they're going to be rich. Right? Do you guys understand the irony in that? And I'll just make it real simple. If I give you all of my money, you're going to have all my money, and I won't have any money. So who's going to be rich? And I'll leave you with that. So thanks again for watching, and love to hear your thoughts on any one of these things. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Fleet of 10 million bots potentially adds $1.7 trillion to the value of Tesla's stock.
Absolutely melts my head.